your braids could affect your fertility. Welcome to the Dear Doctor series, the show where I answer your questions with a sprinkle of humor, plenty of love, and lots of medical wisdom. Today, as usual, I'm going to be answering one letter from one lucky subscriber. But anyways, our spinning wheel is going to decide today on who that lucky subscriber is going to be. So, let's find out. Okay, that was quick. Looks like we're on number 5. So let's see what our number 5 letter says. 5. Drum roll, please, as I bring out this letter. Something tells me it's going to be a very interesting one. Hello, doctor. My mother-in-law says I can't conceive because of the way I braid my hair. What? My husband is beginning to believe her. I've been trying to educate him about fertility issues, but he's saying I'm being disrespectful. How do I handle this? Your mother-in-law said it's because of the way you braid your hair that is why you cannot have kids. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What could she mean by that? Okay, I think I get where she may be coming from. Okay, so I'll explain. Your mother-in-law is not totally crazy after all. Your braids could affect your fertility. I'm not saying that's what's affecting your fertility right now, but yeah, there's that chance. She may be right. So I'm glad you wrote it because a lot of people are not aware of this. So I'm going to create some awareness on this, right? If you are someone that braids your hair a lot like me, okay, I'm also guilty of doing the same. Recent studies have shown that braids, right? A lot of these braids that we use, especially those that have something called flame retardants in them, you see on the packet that it's right, it has flame retardants. They usually contain some chemicals that they used to make them. These chemicals belong to a group of chemicals called endocrine disrupting chemicals, right? And these endocrine disrupting chemicals, they interfere with your hormones, right? They interfere with your hormones, and they can cause a lot of issues with your reproductive health and fertility. So it can cause things like PCOS. It can cause you to have irregular periods. It can cause you to have irregular ovulation. For men, it can affect their libido. It can affect their testosterone levels, and all these things, all the hormones that it affects are part of the hormones that are responsible for helping you to conceive, both in males and in females. So when you do all these braids a lot, you are exposing yourself to these harmful chemicals, especially when the braids are dipped in hot water. When we do braids, especially to achieve like curls like this, or to help to seal the ends, the hairdresser would normally dip it inside hot water, and that's when more of these chemicals are released. Also, when you apply heat to the braids, apart from hot water, maybe you're using a straightener on the braids or you're using like a curler on the braids, it also releases these chemicals. So you keep getting exposed to these chemicals. The more you braid your hair, dip it in hot water, apply heat to it, you're getting exposed to these chemicals. If you're someone that loves braids and you're trying to conceive, well, you might want to consider that. If you have been trying to conceive unsuccessfully, it won't harm to stay away from braids a bit. So you can protect yourself by staying away from doing braids entirely. Opt for other options, go natural or something, or use a wig instead. Or you can also let your hairdresser know not to dip your braids in hot water whenever they do your hair, or to reduce applying heat to your braids, right? Reduce the frequency of doing the braids entirely, or like I said, go for options like wearing a wig instead, right? Wig that is human hair, not made of this same kind of synthetic material. That will help to reduce your exposure to these harmful chemicals. So your mother-in-law might not entirely be wrong. She's not entirely crazy. So it's okay to listen to her, right? And maybe explore the option of going easy on the braids and see if there are any positive results. However, before we start looking into braids and all that, have you seen a fertility specialist? Have you gone for fertility testing? It is very important, because before we start blaming it on the braids, you want to explore other more common causes of infertility. And not just you, your husband also needs to see a doctor, right? Because it takes two. It's having a baby is teamwork. Getting pregnant is teamwork. You're not going to get yourself pregnant. So if your partner has a problem and we're only looking at you, then we'll pretty much be wasting our time. So it's important that your partner also goes for fertility testing, right? Yeah, I didn't really expect us to go this route in this letter, but yeah, this is where we find ourselves, and I'm happy we did, because it's not something that is regularly talked about, right? I hope I've been able to help. I hope this answers your question. To my subscribers, what do you think? Have you ever heard of this thing that we just discussed? I mean, braids affecting fertility. Is this new? Is this strange? Or are you still in doubt? Like, no, it's not possible, right? Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss it. And if you've heard about it before, let me know where you heard about it and what you thought when you heard, right? I really love to hear from you guys. But I think that's all we can take for today. If you have any questions, as usual, feel free to slide into my DM. Details are right here on the screen, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions in the next episode. Please consider subscribing and also subscribe to my mailing list. The link to subscribing is in the description box down below. Until next time, on the next episode of Dear Doctor series, when we'll meet again, stay healthy.